Mitt Romney, his path to the White House looking increasingly narrow when it comes to the electoral votes. Neil King, he's been doing some counting. He is here with us today to explain that. Now, Neil, by your assessment, the harsh reality appears that Mitt Romney will have to win at least 6 states that Obama took, critical states that Obama took in 2008.
Yeah, I mean, you know, the reality is Mitt Romney looks at a calendar where 2008, Obama ran up the score in a bunch of states. And so for Romney to win, he has to whittle away at a number of those states. And the path that his campaign talks about, a sort of 3-2-1 strategy, is they would have to win back North Carolina, which probably won't be that hard necessarily, Virginia and Indiana. That's the 3. Then the 2 is that they would have to also take Ohio, the traditional big battleground state, and Florida. And then once they've done those, they would then be 4 electoral votes away from the 270 needed, and then any number of states would do. New Hampshire would do, Iowa, Colorado, etc. But that may sound easy, and yet each of those states is going to be hard fought and very close, and the margin for error on Romney's side is really, really small.
Is part of the reason that this challenge is so steep for Mitt Romney is that the votes that each party can count on from their stronghold is very different. The Democrats have about 230 electoral votes they can count on, whereas the Republicans have around 190. Is that where the sort of tricky math comes in for them?
Well, that's just the blunt kind of reality of the map as it has come to exist over time, in that you know, Democrats just start at a better floor because of, you know, the big states like New York, California, et cetera, being in the Democratic column. So yeah, the floor that Obama will start with, no matter what, is really about a Florida away from sealing the thing. And which is why, if right off the bat on that Tuesday in November, if it became clear that Romney was going to lose Florida, the election would effectively be over unless he did things that no Republican has done in decades, which is to have a big sweep through the industrial Midwest, Michigan, Pennsylvania, states like that, to make up for it.
How are the polls looking for Romney right now in some of these critical states like Florida, Ohio, Virginia, and North Carolina, Neil?
Well, a bunch of polls came out yesterday that were interesting. There was a Quinnipiac series of polls that basically had the race tied in Florida and Ohio. I don't think that's terribly surprising. Those two are going to be really close. Virginia, a poll out of Virginia by the Washington Post had Obama up 7 points yesterday. You know, Virginia is becoming the ultimate battleground, a really interesting state where Obama could have a terrible night in November all up and down the eastern seaboard. He could lose every state that's considered to be a swing state. But if he kept Virginia, it would open up all kinds of other ways where he could still win by doing well in the West. That's one of the reasons that makes Virginia a really interesting state.